Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is your Neat Parent host, Zakaria. Inshallah, you're well. Do you like your name? Did you like your name while you were growing up? Our Muslim name is basically the start of developing our Muslim identity, a strong Muslim identity, inshallah. And as Muslim parents, we have a major role in developing our children's Muslim identity. We can totally make sure that their Eid is over the top. We can pray regularly and have them pray with us, or if they see us praying regularly, we can also give zakat regularly and have them see us giving zakat regularly. We can learn and read Quran for ourselves and also with them, or ensure that they are learning and reading Quran. We could totally do all of these things, and inshallah that will help to develop their strong Muslim identity. We can lead and we'll teach them by being the example we want them to emulate. But one simple way to develop that strong Muslim identity starts with their name, before they can even pronounce it or say it. Sometimes even before they're born, we're thinking about that name, or we should be thinking about that name. Like, what should I name my child or the children? And the meaning of the name is really important as well. And for those who are not born Muslim and maybe became Muslim after they had kids, and their kids or their kids became Muslim, we may not have had an opportunity to pick a name that was Muslim, and we may remain with the name that we were given with before we were Muslim. But those of us who are Muslim and born Muslim and were given a Muslim name, we definitely might have not had that choice. Most likely, sometimes it's cultural practices that indicate how or the process of naming the child. I know that's for sure something that I've personally experienced, and just sometimes there are just cultural influences in the name or in the process of choosing the name, and you're just kind of stuck with it, right? At the end of the day, we don't want to feel stuck with it. You want to be able to appreciate, acknowledge, love your name. And we want the same ultimately for our children. For sure, growing up in the United States, seeing the name keychains or the name plates or the stickers, pre-made stickers, never seeing my name in any of the stores or on the mugs with names, the personalized items that were already just standard names. No offense to the Jessicas and the Samanthas and the Britneys out there, but we never saw the Ruqayyas, we never saw the Aishas, we never saw the Zahras, we never saw the Fatimas. Barely we would see maybe a Layla, maybe. So for sure, I was not proud of my name. It was a very Muslim name, and it was a very uncommon name in terms of what you would find or look at in the stores. 5-year-old, 6-year-old, even 10-year-old, you're just not going to find that name in the United States on the shelf, printed on a mug. So for sure that helped to not want to be identified as a Muslim, because my name was very, very Muslim, alhamdulillah, but I also didn't see it anywhere. So as a kid, you tend to feel either ashamed or you feel a little bit embarrassed, or you feel a little bit shy about maybe the name that you have or you were given. Nonetheless, if you had seen them, or your name or your sister's name or your brother's name or your parents' names on these personalized items, it makes an impact. For sure, I can attest to that. If I had seen that on the shelf or on a keychain or on a mug, I would probably feel a little bit more confident and also a little bit more likely to identify with my religion, which I really didn't as a little girl growing up. And one of the things that we can do, or in retrospect, one of the things that we can do as parents is tell our kids our names, the meanings of our names, the reasons why we gave them their names, and acknowledge it, that you have this name because you're named after one of the Sahabas, or you're named after one of the mothers of the believers. You're named after a prophet. You're named after the Tabi'in. It is always great to know the name and the meaning of the name. And even if you're named after a grandparent or a great aunt, it is good to know the meaning of that name. I was named after an aunt who was a Muslim. May Allah have mercy on her soul. She didn't have the name in English, so I was named exactly her name in Arabic and exactly how it was spelled. And then in the United States, they just said, well, we're just going to name you exactly how we're going to write it, exactly how she wrote it, but it's not an English alphabet, so how do you write it? So then my name, long story short, got butchered and it became something else, so then it's mispronounced in English, and then my mother was like, if you speak Arabic, you're going to know it. At the end of the day, it was just, it's still a disaster, but adding salt to the wound, it was not a name that was common. It was not a name that was familiar. On the roll call in second grade class, Mrs. Smith's class, there's no way she was going to pronounce that name correctly, in addition to the fact that it technically is misspelled in the English Latin alphabet. So it was not pretty, but nonetheless, alhamdulillah, I love my name. I know the name meaning and the reason why I was given that name. However, if I had been told the meaning, or if it had been spelled correctly from the beginning, as close as possible to the Arabic spelling of it, but in English Latin alphabet, if I had been kind of just reassured, or if I had been given personalized items, or if I saw it on the shelf, or if people didn't mispronounce it correctly, I probably would have had a stronger Muslim identity at like 5 or 6 or 7 years old. Nonetheless, alhamdulillah, we are now parents, so we can have that opportunity to change that. And one of the ways in which we can change that is to just really embrace, or allow our kids to embrace their name. And obviously, before they're even born, pick a name that's a good name. Islam makes it very simple. Alhamdulillah, the best name, even if it is Samantha or Brittany or Abdullah, it is a simple, good meaning, a name with a good meaning. At the end of the day, our religion is extremely simple, and that's one of the ways in which we can make it even easier for ourselves, is to have a simple, good name for our children, our amana. And inshallah, one of the ways in which they can see their names, either on a mug or on the necklace or on a bracelet or on a t-shirt or a keychain, is to just print it out for them. Have it printed, personalize their items, and have it something that they're completely aware of, not only when they're able to write their names, just even before that, and continuing it on after they're able to write their names. I've been able to purchase some items from Binta Bijou. Bijou means jewelry in French. BintaBijou.com. And I love, I wish she were around when I was a little girl, but when I came across this website, I just thought, well, number one, she's Muslim, alhamdulillah. She probably had the same experience, which prompted her to, or motivated her to create this website and this online jewelry store. boutique because it had everything. Your name written in Arabic, your name written in and spelled in English, Latin letters, and she has the variety of styles and variety of colors and metals, and at the end of the day, could be for a gift, could be for a Aqiqah gift, could be for a new parent, newlyweds, it could be for just your own kids, Eid present. It's definitely been a great site for just developing, just the step towards developing it. It's not the end all, but it definitely is a huge step towards developing that Muslim identity. And I've purchased several items from there, and I actually I'm not sponsored at all, but I actually absolutely love their products, and I really, really love them. And I purchased some gifts for my children, and they were happy to see their name written, and they have a very Muslim name, and they were so happy to see their personalized name and to have jewelry and items that said their name. They know the meanings of their names, and they're actually proud of their names. Alhamdulillah, they are very comfortable saying their names and not nicknames, just the full Muslim name. Alhamdulillah, they are proud of it, and mashallah, they don't have a problem with it, but it just was that extra cherry on top for them to have the actual items printed, personalized in their hands for others to see, whether it was a mug or a keychain or a bracelet or a necklace. So for sure, it was a really great step towards developing and reassuring their Muslim identity. It all starts with a name, and you could get items for yourself as well. I got something personalized for myself with my name. Alhamdulillah, I love my name now. But for sure, it was a great, great gift for myself. And I encourage others to do the same. Check out her website, inshallah, bintabijou.com. And that's B like boy, I, N like Nancy, T like Tom, A, B like boy, I, J like Jack, OUX.com. Inshallah, you'll find something for everyone. Obviously, not the gold items for our males, our male Muslim relatives and males in our lives. However, they do have silver, so inshallah, that would be something to even gift the males, our Muslim males in our lives, inshallah. Also, one of the things that I repeatedly do, if you have children who are either in school or play dates or in daycare, or even if they're going over to their grandparents' houses and there are cousins there, and just if you just want to label your kids' items, it is just a task that is inevitable, and it just has to happen because they're going to be mixing with other kids, whether it's their cousins or kids at the park, and you need to know whose water bottle it is or whose hat, whose lunchbox, whose jacket, just the whole slew for like the next 10 years, from 0 to 10. You just need to label their things at least 10 years old, sometimes a little bit later. But one of the ways in which you can save yourself a headache is to get something called the name stamp. I really like it because you can have it personalized, and it is not going to be easily erased. It's not like, but it's also not going to damage the clothing like a permanent marker, which we have all resorted to the permanent marker. No, I have absolutely no problem with the permanent marker, but sometimes it does bleed into the actual clothing item or whatever it is you're writing or using, wherever it is you're using this permanent marker. Sometimes it bleeds, sometimes it leaks, sometimes it spreads, and it's a mess. So nonetheless, one of the alternatives, which could be a great alternative, permanent alternative, but not as messy or as problematic as the permanent marker, would be the name stamp. And at Neat Parent, I'm able to offer a 10% discount for the namestamp.com. That's the website, the namestamp.com, THNAMESTAMP.com. I'm able to offer 10% discount if you make a purchase on their website, on any items you purchase on their website. If you enter the code Neat Parent, all one word, Neat Parent. That'll be the code, and that's my gift for you and your amana, inshallah. Inshallah, we will have our children have strong Muslim identities, be proud of their names, and also will have some stress relief from not having to write names, our children's names, on the 5 billion items, and inshallah they won't be lost and in the process of them being elsewhere outside of our homes. And inshallah they will have their name on everything, whether it's from something from bintabijou.com or if it's from something from the namestamp.com. And they will have that, inshallah, strong Muslim identity, or at least the big step towards it. Until the next episode, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.